Hi guys, welcome back. Now this one we're actually focusing on the top 5 private banks in the world, of where your typical royalties, tech giants, entrepreneurs are banking worldwide. Let's have a look at number 1, again, based where I am right now, Switzerland. So Julius Bank, based in Switzerland itself, one of the oldest, most luxurious private banks that is in the world. Not many people know it. People typically think Co, something from London. No, Julius from here. Additionally, they also do corporate structuring, just like myself. But this is a very well-known, well, not really well-known, very well-known upon kind of a tech giant, being a royalty kind of community of where to park your funds in the whole of Switzerland. One of the safest places to do so. Check it out. I'm not going to put any links on here or anything. You can check it out yourself. And that is number 1. Number 2 is actually based in Liechtenstein, owned by the royals in Liechtenstein. Now, Liechtenstein is a very small country, again, next door to Switzerland. Quite a strange principality/country. It's one of the smallest countries in the world, if not the, depending on how you look at what a country is. But their top bank there, their top private bank there, is another place to park those funds. Obviously, to get in these banks, it does not take $1 million. We're looking at substantial investment. They're open for some conversations, but it's not your typical boring coots from London where you need 400k, right? So these banks are well beyond those DBSs, all of these standard private banks, right? So the bank I'm on about in Liechtenstein, which you're probably waiting to actually hear, HPT Bank. Now this bank is very well known, you can check it out online. And this is actually owned by the Liechtenstein royal family, so obviously very safe bank to park those funds. Again, they are very focused on those high net worth individuals. Discretion, I would like to say secrecy, let's say secrecy. Privacy is probably a better word to use. And that's another one of those banks. Let's move straight to number 3. And number 3, you probably would have heard of, very well known, again, based in Switzerland. So 2 out of the top 3 banks so far were in Switzerland, which is quite obvious, right? The other one's next door to Switzerland. And this one is UBS. UBS, very common, very easy to actually get into nowadays, but it's come under a little bit of scrutiny, but not too much. But UBS will always remain a fantastic banking partner, especially if you're a resident of Switzerland. Quite easy to get into if you do have that capital to actually open the accounts. Then it's probably a very good choice that you should do so. But you've most likely heard of UBS before anyways. For myself would be JP Morgan and Chase. A great bank, very similar to facilities such as like Citigroup and stuff like this. However, what I do love about the US banking kind of system is the fact that typically on between those $80,000 to $200,000 transactions, for standard accounts, not always private accounts, they don't actually ask too many questions. As for example, my Premier, not private accounts based in London or Europe, sometimes you can get those questions. Obviously, those private banks in Switzerland and those ones that I've just mentioned, or sometimes there's private banks in London, they don't really ask those questions because they like to respect their clients, right? But nowadays, it's becoming a lot of scrutiny, especially in the UK, of asking those questions, which is fine. But it gets a bit annoying. Those payments take 2 to 3 days because you didn't see the email of please provide why you're sending $79,000 to this company in the US, for example. But over in the US, typically under 125,000, something like this, I've never really had too many problems with those questions. The next one is Piquet from Geneva, based in Switzerland again. So yeah, as you can see, a common feeling with all of these banks. They are generally based in Switzerland, right? So a little bit more of a premium feel than London. This bank's based in Geneva and very private. Obviously caters towards high net worth individuals, of course, and that obviously can come with wealth managers, offshore wealth managers. And again, all of these banks are very familiar with these structures that I generally speak about daily. Just for it's great to obviously do these banking kind of connections here, and obviously if you did have any help getting inside these connections or an introduction to be made from my behalf, happy to help you. Please get in contact. You can book a meeting below. We can obviously chat about an account opening at one of these banks, right?